What's going on, guys? Thought I'd show you this. I've showed this in reviews for years, but um, okay, this is the 101 called the 105.5, but this is a 101 um, slick from Extreme Flight. And see, I have the appropriate color of cuffs on there. And what I like, I didn't like the stock wheel pants. Did I give those to Joe McBride? I think I did. He put them on his something, maybe his carton. Not even sure. They had a funny shape, and so I looked online. Man, there's like no place to get stuff anywhere anymore. You can just get stuff from Extreme Flight. Like it's the only shop. I try to buy some stuff from Red Wing and Kike and different things when they have anything, but man, it's kind of like Extreme Flight's the only game in town. Fortunately, they have good stuff. But these wheels, this is the second set. I just changed these. Where's the other ones? They had a couple little creases on them because I had a landing in the grass. I flamed out in the bottom of a tip spin. I went blender to tip spin. I was pretty low, flamed out. I think I guys told you about it. I flamed out because this little servo mount that I made. I just had it glued on, and there was plenty of surface area, but see my finger come up. But this, it was glued. I didn't sand it. That's my whole thing. I didn't sand it, and this has a coating from China, maybe a little epoxy, maybe something, to protect from the fuel. To protect it from fuel getting on it. So that, even though I had the quarter stock and all that stuff, that was I glued that well to this coating, but this coating just peeled off. So yeah, peeled off clean. So now I've got it. I sanded and glued it directly to the wood. I even put a couple servo screws. Now it ain't going nowhere. But when that popped off, because I did a full throttle blender to tip spin, which I just started doing those because I heard you could, and I'm like, okay, well, let's see if these things blow up. And I did it with the 116 Edge from Skywing. I couldn't believe it because it's so heavy with the tune pipes and everything on it. And yeah, do it all day long. So I did it. This was the first one with this. I just took in full. I just took off too. I just took off, did a couple maneuvers, went around and did a full throttle blender, the full throttle tip spin, and then it flamed out. And it flamed out because that mount fell off from all that shucking and jiving around. And so the servo was not connected, pulled the throttle closed. So then I ended up doing didn't have another millisecond or another minus a foot. I would have been in trouble, but just managed to level it off in the field. But there was, dirt and rocks and grass and stuff. So I ended up making a couple little cracks right here. Still look fine, but I can't have those little cracks. So I bought more. So these are off of the 114 blue and white NG, and I like them better. I think they look cooler. You can see them in my videos and stuff upright. So that's what these are. And this is getting lengthy, but it's all these details. Then the Skywing, which these didn't come with anyway, but the Skywing has their own axles. These have their own axles too from Extreme Flight. And the Skywing axles come through and they have an integrated wheel pant saver in it to where the axle's fat and it's been tapped and drilled and tapped. And there's a bolt on the outside and that stabilizes all this so that it doesn't, every time you bump it, it doesn't try to crack these corners. And these get bumped a lot. People walk up to look at your plane. Oh, what's that? And then they kick your wheel pants. Like, been happening since the dawn of time. And we do it too, hanger rush. We throw them in and out of our trailers and trucks and vans in my case. You bump it on things. So those are real nice. But the problem with those ones from Skywing, they're like so cool design, but then they just break. I broke them so easy. So that's no bueno. You can add a servo saver here. Probably even Extreme Flight sells them, but different people sell them. And you put them on over your axle, and then you glue them on to the inside here, and then that holds this all tight. So that way, again, it doesn't easily crack. on these two corners. Those are good, but yeah, I'm fine. I don't even mind changing my pants once in a while. And the ones I wear on my legs, and also these. So, but how I've always done these, how I like it, DUBRO. I've always used the 3/16. The quarters are quite a bit heavier and thicker, and I've just never needed them. The worst I've ever done to one of these 3/16 on a 40% plane, and this is only a third scale, is I hit real hard and it bent a little bit. I've never broke one. So the 3/16 works out good for me. Then from there, I use the DUBRO collar. I'm trying to get it to focus. Yeah, that worked. And but what I do, instead of using the included, what would you call it, a set screw, which is, you know, it has it's like a piece of all thread that has the hex cut into the end of it to where it all fits flush with the collar, but it's a small hex, and you know, sometimes those are hard to get off, sometimes they'll strip out. So I always use these 632s. They fit right in the DUBROs at 632, and then they have a big old socket head. And to keep that from hitting the DUBRO tread lights, I always put that washer in there, and then you get the clearance, so the head doesn't hit the wheel. So that's been my setup for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, and I really like the way that works. So I use blue Loctite, put in that 632 by quarter, 632 by quarter machine bolt, and so that's my setup. And then I'll take and put a flat spot. I'm sure all you guys do all this stuff, but I put a flat spot there and there for the screw. And you could use anything. You could even use a Dremel, but be careful because you take out a lot of meat. It doesn't take much. I just use a junky little file, and it doesn't even seem like it would work, and it takes a little flat spot down in a couple of swipes. That's about it. So then I got the DUBRO tread lights, which only weighed, I think, an ounce. I weighed them next to the foam junk ones that come with it. I mean, those are great if they'd hold up, but the plastic insert on the inside will break after a while. So yeah, and you could keep replacing those too. I don't mind replacing things, but anymore, an ounce isn't a big deal. I used to think of the ounces, you know, and I'd try to get like an ounce off 20 different places. That's 20 ounces. My plane would fly better than your plane. But now everybody's going fast, kind of need the weight to be more aggressive. Don't even matter. So that is how I set up the pants. In this case, you got to drill. The whole pattern's different for the slick model than for the NG 114 NG model. So you can see I had to drill, get my finger in here, I had to drill the hole over in the landing gear, and then the thing just fits on just fine. And that's your wheel pant, wheel axle, collar, diary information for the day. Okay, out.